morning to you. Welcome to Life and Style. I'm Mikali, and of course, every single Thursday, it's all about inspiring you, motivating you. Remember, we keep telling you every day that the most important project that you can never work on is you. And we're here to help you do just that. We have an amazing show lined up for you. Motivate, innovate, books and blogs, and make money. All of that for you. But right now, though, it's all about motivate. And I'm scrolling through I'm trying to hold back my laughter. I'm scrolling through some photos over here of Chris Kirua, and whoa, you've come a long way.
Disclaimer, that's my twin brother.
No way. First of all, you look like Snoop Dogg over here.
I've been told I look like that.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I used to wonder what people are saying. And one day I said, okay, let me just keep quiet. So I shaved my hair so you don't look. He still has hair.
Yeah, he still has hair.
Yes.
That's the only thing setting you for the front. Okay, fine. So today we're talking about motivation.
Yes.
And you're a great inspiration to many people. The pictures speak for themselves. Like, the journey has been long and it's been intense.
Yeah.
You've had your ups and downs.
Yeah.
And we're here to listen to your story today.
Okay.
If you can take us from the beginning, how you started in the events industry, or just even before that.
I think from way back in school, I used to find myself, when there's an event, I find myself volunteering to just help. You know, a school drama, we are putting up maybe a games, whatever. I schooled in Nakuru for almost 18 years. So I'll find myself volunteering to do a lot of this. Then immediately after high school, my mom got an accident when I was in 4th form, and it paralyzed her for a long time. So she stayed in hospital for like 2 years, 6 months in ICU. So I wasn't able to proceed to. I had been called to Koilel Boys. For, you know, those days we used to do up to Form 6. So after that 2 years, I decided to come look for work. So I came to KBC because I believed I had a good voice, and I could.
You do have a good voice.
I could broadcast in Swahili, and of course I didn't get a chance in Swahili. I started in a department called traffic, pushing what we call logs, which you give the radio announcers. At some point, I started shadowing Catherine Kasavuli, who used to be here, and John Obongo Jr., who taught me now to be a radio host, and I ended up in English service. But all the time, something used to burn in me that I want to do events. But I decided, okay, seems I can talk in public, and I can be able to host, you know, events effortlessly. So let me try radio and then use it as an avenue. Luckily enough, KBC was launching a TV station called Metro TV. Yeah. So I volunteered full. I said, you don't need to hire guys from outside. They had gone to agencies. I said, no, I can do all these things. So I drew a checklist. I said, this is what you can do. So the management was impressed. Okay. Here we have an insider who can actually do this job. So we did it, and we launched the TV station. But in between, I was volunteering to do emceeing for weddings. And then I discovered every time I go to, let's say, MC your wedding, I'll have so many challenges because the team or the committee that was planning it didn't do a good job. So I'll be struggling, I'll be running, where is the program for this, where is this? Maybe you're supposed to do a karafo nini during a pre-wedding, somebody didn't buy it nini. So I put it as a clause in my contract that I have to attend the meeting of your committee in my mind to make sure the things I want to be in place to enable me to MC faster, better. What I didn't know is that in the process, I was teaching myself to event manage. So when you do that for almost 5 years, it's self-taught. So you reach a point where now the package is I'll come and plan your wedding as well as MC. So I'm doing this thing on the side, but I'm also on radio. At some point, I ended up in a design department, and I will do, like today I was telling you, the last time I was done makeup has been a very long time. So we used to do set designs for TV. So you see, this is, I mean, in an event, we are in an industry we call Jenga Bomoa. I mean, 1 minute,
you have this,
it is our free ground. The next minute, you put up a tent, screens, lights, you're launching a product. Then the following day, you demolish like there was nothing. So Jenga Bomoa. So it's self-taught. So I've been in that journey up to now. And through, there's a time I ran a restaurant, I think almost 3 of them. There was a restaurant called Pipes in Tomboya Street.
Pipes, yes.
I launched in this country that time, because I think we used to sell so much booze those days. I used to drink. I stopped, and because we used to sell so much alcohol, so decided they will launch there. So again, I drew my checklist and say we can do this, and they were impressed. So instead of taking it to then, they brought it to Tomboya Street. Left, went to run I think a club called Tacos. Then left, went to run Rangers.
Okay.
In between all this, I'm still managing events, I'm still emceeing. Then an agency called EXP spotted me. They came to do an event in Rangers. And then there I was showing them what to do. This is what we need to do. We are coordinating. We'll get the guys to do a game drive. Then after that, they will settle down. This is a concept I think we should. So they're looking at me, those sorts of. So immediately after the launch, they call me and say, hey, we have a position of a head of operations for Kenya. And will you be willing to take it? First of all, I don't know who this company is. So I didn't even bother going. So they called me 2-3 times. I said, hey, okay. So in the process, I said, okay, let me go. Well, long story cut short, I ended up being the head of operations for EXP for 4 years. Gave me a lot of experience because I was able to visit almost 6 African countries to do events in those countries. We will do an event here, and then because probably the operations of that particular country, maybe Zambia, Nigeria, Uganda, were not as advanced as ours, because Kenya, SA, and Nigeria are big in events. Yeah. But the rest of these other countries are still struggling to reach a certain standard that probably the brand wants. So I'll be parachuted into those countries to go help. But what helped me mostly is my attitude. It's if I'm working with a team, I'll want everybody to excel, not just me.
True.
That's key for me. So I'll come and teach you. I'm telling you we need to do this, and I'm big in teaching, telling you your attitude will determine your altitude. Anyway.
True. Very true.
Yeah, so if you can have the master's degree in anything, but if you have a rotten attitude, it will always be an anchor. It will always hold you back. You won't go anywhere. So that really helped me. So I'll move, and it's easy. It's not been very difficult.
Yeah.
And of course, put God first, and things work out here.
Okay. So you got employed.
Yes.
Let's talk about when you decided, you know what, I'm going to go out there and, make my own company and push it to where it is right now. And what did it take?
When I was in Rangers, I had already put up. In fact, I have a website that I've not even launched. Deadly, man. I decided now I'm moving out. Then when I'm moving out, this agency came dangling this carrot. Yes. I call it a carrot because, but I appreciate because then it was able to give me the necessary exposure outside Kenya. Yeah. And we sat down with Kate, I was dating her then, who is now my wife, and told her, okay, watch it. Let us go this side to get this experience. So one day, just 1 year, 2 years, I found myself working there for 4 years. Then after 4 years, I decided, no, I need to get out. When I was about to get out, then another company came. That was 2.5 years ago. Then we decided to form it as 4 directors. Then after some point, I said, no, I think I need to run my own thing, so I'm able to do the things I'm able to do. And that has been the journey. And so now we have a company called Kate Chris. Kate is her, Chris is me, Limited is the 2 of us. Yeah. Okay. Yes. So how has it been putting it up and getting events? Is it easy now because you had exposure then? Probably what some of the challenges that you're facing now? One, we've had a good goodwill from, if I always tell people, it doesn't matter what you're doing in an organization. Do your level best. Don't do it for the organization, do it for yourself. Yeah. Because even if the organization fires you, the experience I got in KBC, for example, really helps. When I come here and you're interviewing me, I'm able to cope with your guys very fast. Yeah. Your guy was walking, and I knew immediately he wants to switch on my mic, so I woke up and turned and he switched on the mic. Yeah. So you learn something. You learn something in an organization you're in. Never take it for granted. Write it down. Because one day, you will need it. Yeah. In events world, you have to be a jack of all trades and an expert in all. In the sense, if I'm holding a science conference for doctors, I better be understanding how doctors work. Yes. Then the next minute, I'm doing an activation for a brand that is targeting just youth. Yeah. And is probably a telecommunication company. I better be understanding how they work. So you see, you are hit by so many, such that if then all the experience that you gather in life, you ignore it, it will make you a poor event manager. But if you've been taking it seriously, it means you can combine all these things. You can walk into a set like this and I know that light is not working. That camera this is my camera, maybe that one is a wide shot, that one is a close-up for you. As in quickly I can do that. You understand?
Yes.
But if I didn't work in KBC and took seriously what I saw there, I wouldn't understand. Yeah.
You know, I'm told that whatever place you are put, you don't know where you're going to be tomorrow.
Yes.
But you've been put there to learn.
Yes.
Peak basics because you're being prepared for something.
For
bigger,
something.
Which is now Kate Chris.
Yes.
Kate.
Yeah. Kate Chris Limited.
Kate Chris.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, Kate first.
Kate first. I met Kate when I've done a lot of modeling and fashion. Okay. I'm not so sure what I haven't done. So I did a lot of that during my career. I did a lot of that. We went out. I used to work, thanks to Mrs. Kamungi of Vera Beauty College. I used to work for Miss Tourism. Then I worked for Miss World Kenya. Then I came and did Samantha Bride.
You're actually one of the big names that people, associate with.
Yes, with the beauty
with the
pageant.
beauty pageant.
Yet I stopped so many years ago. I mean, it's been
Still,
almost
they're
6
talking
years.
about it.
It's
Means
been
you've
6,
left
7
an
years.
impact there.
But because of the passion we had then it was not about money. The amount, in fact, even now in my own company, I don't think I put as much effort as I used to when I was working that. But because you're young and you're yearning and you want to see good things, so you put a lot of effort in it just to make sure it works, okay? So in the process of auditioning for Miss World Kenya, I spotted this girl who had come, talking about my wife now, and I looked, I said, okay, we are in a car, you know. So I tried talking to her, she vanished. 2 years down the line, she appears in Samantha Bride, because that was the first time we are doing bridal fair.
Yeah.
So the owner of that Nini called me and said, okay, Kiro, we like what you're doing, come and help us. So I was the head of production, I was the head of planning and everything. Then in the evening, I MC the same event, as in, that's how it used to be. So she came to the Nini and, okay, the truth is I decided, this one I'm auditioning for myself. I've auditioned for pageantry a long time, this one I'm auditioning for myself. So yeah. So of course, she said, no, Nini bounced my 2-3 dates for fish. I discovered she likes fish.
Okay.
So at the 4th date, she turned up. A big mistake, she ended up being my wife.
Big mistake
Yeah, for her. Yeah. She was trying to run away.
But you meet a lot of young people out there.
Yes.
Talk about the beauty pageants and all. And
Yes.
then here you are with Kate. How
Yeah.
do you balance that? That she doesn't feel, you're taking too much time here. And what about all these other girls?
What happened is that when I'm managing an event, I manage it military style. Okay. You do not want to find me when I'm managing an event. I don't smile, I don't laugh. Okay. And I'll fire you on the spot, I don't care who it is. I remember firing someone I used to date.
Whoa.
Because she came late. Now, so you can understand what that means, okay? I won't go into details.
Of course, the relationship ended there. It's over.
Yeah, it was a bit funny. But you see, the problem with people is every time you walk into probably a set like this, you don't know the amount of work that has been put to just have this studio to be the way it is. So in an events world, it's the same. You'll walk in, you see all this awesome setup. But behind the scenes, there are guys who've really worked. I mean, even here, there are so many guys who work behind the scenes to make sure this production is good. So if I don't put a bit of seriousness, I'm taking them for granted. So if you come to our team, we expect you to really pull beyond expectations, because client will pay you, but they always expect a value. They want to see whether you exceeded your expectations. Even in the appraisal forms, you'll always be asked, did you exceed expectations? Okay? So, and it's not about your education. It's not about who you are connected to. It's not about, just put your God first and do the work like it's yours. Because the day you start yours, if you have been used to doing it averagely, you will run your company averagely.
That's true. Most people out there, most people in relationships, they find it very difficult to work with their wives. Yeah? So how is it for you managing this company with your wife?
I won't sit here and cheat and say it's easy.
Yeah.
Of course, when we started, it was a bit tough. But I credit her for pushing me to actually start the company and say, hey, you've been a kingmaker for so many people. It's about time you became your own king.
True.
And the queen is here, me. So I said, okay. So what do you have in mind? And okay, interestingly, when we were courting, I used to tell her, you know what? The day I give you a baby, we'll call the baby Kate Chris, if it's a girl. The day I build you a mall, I'll call, okay, I don't know. I always think I'll get a girl. So I told her, I'll build you a mall, I'll call it Kate Chris. They told me, now, every time you tell me about this, why don't we do a company called Kate Chris? I said, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
So I told her, so what do you think? She said, okay, I'll find out. 2-3 days later, she came with a registration. She had already registered, you know, ladies.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Chop,
me,
chop.
I'm checking, hala, to share register, so So that's how we started.
Okay.
But we might be new, maybe it might be 6 months, but the experience we have is almost 17 years.
True.
Yeah.
The experience, actually.
Yeah, the experience part is
really.
almost,
I'm sure you've had highs and lows in the industry.
Yes.
Like, you've managed an event and it was big, and probably that's the highlight of your career.
Yes.
What event would that be?
highlight the
Yes.
one that succeeded most.
Yeah.
I think there was a conference called Samsung Built for Africa. Samsung Built for Africa was an event by Samsung that brought all their distributors from across the region, from across Africa. It was the first time that it was being held here in Kenya. It's always been held in SA or any other European market. So it's like you have a 5-day event of 500 people coming in and checking out, being taught about the new brands of Samsung. Now, under the company I was in, I was appointed the head of operations. When you're appointed head of operations, it's like being IG, you know, Inspector General of Police. You know, you don't sleep.
No,
You understand? Every little thing that goes wrong, it's you. Eh?
Yeah.
And then I had my bosses fly in from SA. So I'm reporting directly to the head office, including my country manager here. That is pressure, okay? If KTN Standard has TV, radio, whatever, you have stations all over the world, then the bosses of all linear are coming and you're the head. You can imagine the pressure.
Yeah.
Then, and I have to say this on TV, Koreans have a different work ethic.
Okay.
Those guys don't sleep, they are never tired, and they never look tired. So now, at some point, I thought these guys are playing tricks on me, maybe because they look alike. So every morning there's a new guy, and me, I've not slept, but now they are exchanging. Because they're thinking, it's 3 days you haven't slept, and the guy is still saying, we need to continue working, we need to continue working. You're thinking. So we survived that pressure. And I'll tell you, it's not easy pressure. Guys that come from, you know, let me call it the Orient world, maybe Chinese, Koreans, Japanese, their work ethic is very different, even from Europe and from Africa, of course. They, as in, if you can survive them, you can survive anything. There is no room for a mistake, mediocrity, as in, there isn't, yeah? If it's lunchtime, they say it's lunchtime, you're not supposed to be working.
Yeah.
Can you go sleep? And it's time to work, it's time to work. So that was the highlight because we received recommendation letters, me and a colleague of mine, for having been the very best in that. But we had a whole team. Yeah. Now, the interesting thing during that time, we had recruited brand ambassadors, you know, the guys like high-profile hostesses who now are helping in the event.
Good.
You can't believe it. I think 5-6 years down the line, some of them are very senior people in Samsung, and they are now our clients. Ah,
lowest moments.
Hey,
Made an event and it went just haywire.
Lowest moment. I had been contracted by some guys who had brought in Gregory Isaacs.
Yeah.
Gregory, he passed away.
Yeah.
He was you know, if you know reggae circles, he was I think he was the only reggae artist who used to wear suits on stage. Now, this guy was supposed to come with his full band. You know the way an artist, some of these artists that check in, you come in with a full band. So we've waited. We've sent him passports, nini. So now we go to pick him in the airport. When he steps out of the plane, because we've been cleared up to the level where now it's VIP, it's him alone. And then I'm asking him, so where are the rest of the, you know the way you will see one acrobat, then you ask them, where are the rest?
Yeah.
So I asked him, where are the rest of your band members? They missed the flight. The reggae show is tomorrow. 25,000 reggae fans are booked. Carnival.
Whoa.
The dude has come with a band.
What
you tell me what you do.
Okay.
Me, I sat down there, we were with Big Ted.
Yeah.
Big Ted, the current guy. So we quickly hatched a plan. And I'm saying this on TV, so now I think we can reveal. It's now so many years. So reggae fans, you can as well know. So we went and got a group called were based in Langata. So we went and bought, you know, dreads. We bought T-shirts written Jamaica, put bling on them, nini. Yeah. So then we took Gregory Isaacs Baka SQ, Langata, straight. He rehearsed the whole night. By 2 o'clock, walikuwa wameiva.
What?
Then now we got them a bus, and it was nil by mouth. Should they ever dare speak Swahili?
Umetoa Lang'ata lakini asiongee Kiswahili.
See, they're from Jamaica. Yeah. So we came with a bus, we branded it, Jamaica, Nini, security. They stepped on stage, wameva, you know, those glasses of your future is so bright, mpaka yani you need shades to, you know, reduce the intensity. So they've kwenda duko stage. So now, when they are sing, and you know, any band, by the way, can do can play any song in the world.
Yes.
If you have a good band, they can play.
Yeah.
The reggae fans didn't know. But the guys who performed that day.
What?
So it was lowest, but able to turn it around. Okay?
Yeah.
That was not the lowest moment. So we flew him to Mombasa.
Okay.
Now, if you've been able, so the show was in South Coast, and he was sleeping in Mombasa Beach. So you have to do the trip up to the ferry. So I'm taking him at night. The other team has gone to set up nini, South Coast. So we reach the ferry, and you know, after certain hours, the ferry operates 1 hour.
Yes.
Then it stops 1 hour, then comes this side 1
Yes.
hour. How about we arrived when it's leaving? So he sat in the car like this. And he said, I can't wait anymore. He got out of the car, he started walking back. Telling him, no, we have to go to the show on the other side. He said, no. He started walking towards Nini Upper, where the Nyali supermarket is.
Yes, the Nakumatt.
Saa sita usiku. So we rushed back, we put him in the car, we returned him to the hotel. When we were reaching huko, the fire huko, manati dreads wamewasha moto kwa hoteli wenyewe.
Yeah, that must have been a low. Okay,
Yeah.
we need to bring this conversation to an end.
Yeah.
Future plans for you and for your company as well.
We want to be an events company that is able to channel talent, because events is talent. It's passion. It's what you want. So we want to be able to be you pass through us and become better. Come, give us what you have. We give you the experience that you have. We benefit from. And we have a lot of interns now, young people who are coming up. But the only thing I tell them is that you have to be really serious. So that if I trust you to be able to do a small event, you do it without necessarily me getting calls.
Absolutely.
Okay? We trust in God. I mean, it's very important. This is one thing I would like to say. What I know. But if I'm able to teach you something, for me, I feel like I've downloaded and made room for new things to enter my head. But if I stay with it because I do not want you to learn, because I think you'll be better than me, then I'll just remain with what I know.
It's true.
So I believe in transferring. I would rather teach you, then you grow.
Yeah.
And in the process, I think
You're
I'll be
creating
given
more room.
more room for. So if we look at the world like that, it will be a better place, in my opinion. Yeah.
It's very true.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Chris. It's been amazing having
Yes.
a conversation with you. And of course, we'll have you back.
Yes.
Thank you so much. That has
Thank you.
been Motivate with Chris Kirwa. We're taking a very short commercial break. When we come back, it's all about books and blogs with Catherine Mwangi.
One of the greatest joys in life, Catherine, is to be yourself, to find yourself, and to love yourself.